Morning students, we will continue with our lesson of animal classification. Last time we finished with phylum Echinodermata, where animals having spiny skin which are exclusively marine with radial symmetry, all those characters you have studied. Now moving on to the next phylum, that is the last phylum, it is Hemichordata. Now hemi meaning half. So these are half chordate like animals, which means that in this group you will see characters of non-chordates as well as chordates, and that is why in the classification this particular phylum Hemichordata is considered to be a connection or a connecting link between non-chordates and chordates. Okay, now let us see what are the features of these animals. Now open page number 71 of your textbook and see the diagram of Saccoglossus and Balanoglossus, which are given in your textbook. Let me tell you students, members of this particular group, Hemichordates, we do not see them very say regularly, because these are marine forms, they are present in sea water, and even in sea water they are deeply situated, that is near the sea floor or ocean floor. So they do not very regularly come to the surface of the water and we can see them, that's not going to happen. Okay. Now these animals, they have 3 parts in the body. The head like part is called proboscis, then a neck like part called collar and trunk. Then notochord. Now see, notochord was absent in other groups, but notochord you can see for the first time is seen in hemichordates. But this notochord is present in proboscis region only, and that is why they are half chordates. Then they have pharyngeal gill slits for respiration, and as I have told you, these animals, they live in ocean floor, so there they make burrows and live, and that is why we can't see them so often or regularly. Okay. So this is of phylum Hemichordata. Okay. So these were from Porifera to Hemichordata, were organisms from non-chordates. Now let us move on to the next group of organisms. These are chordates. We have already done comparative account between non-chordates and chordates, where what are the parts present in non-chordates and present in chordates, all that thing you have already studied. So now I will directly move on to the further classification of chordates. Now chordates, if you remember, they are divided into Urochordata. Now this also we have done earlier, but quickly I will revise. Uro word stands for tail. So notochord is present in the tail region of these animals and they are Urochordata. Then Cephalochordata, cephalon is head. So in cephalochordates, notochord begins in head region and continues up to tail. So, from head to tail there is notochord. So, these are cephalochordates, and the third group in chordates, they are vertebrata or craniata. That is animals with vertebral column or backbone, or animals with cranium. Now, cranium is present in head region, inside that brain is protected. Okay, so these are three further groups of chordates. Now, in vertebrata or in the group craniata, there are again two subgroups made. First group is anatha and second group is gnathostomata. Okay, now I will explain to you what are the meanings of these terms. Now, students, this mouth in human body is supported by jaws. Okay, this is our mouth, and inside, if you open in the mouth cavity, we have jaws, correct? Now, imagine if jaws are absent in some animals, okay, then what will happen? This will be just an opening not supported by jaws. Okay. So, anatha is the group where there are no jaws. Okay, mouth cavity is without jaws, or mouth is not supported by jaws. And gnathostomata, a major character, jaws are present, or to be more precise, these jaws are nothing but bones. So, jaw bones are present in gnathostomata. Okay. So, these are major groups of chordates. Now, we will move on to each group separately. In urochordates, animals are marine, found in sea water. Then they have a covering on the body, and that is called tunic. These animals, they have notochord in the tail region of the body, and these animals are hermaphrodite. Now, hermaphrodite meaning is bisexual, means animal body is one, and in that body inside male as well as female reproductive parts are present. So, one animal having male and female reproductive organs is hermaphrodite or bisexual. Okay. Then cephalochordates, these are fish-like marine animals. So, again aquatic habitat. Notochord, as I have told you, from head to tail region, notochord gets extended, and pharynx has gill slits. These animals are unisexual. And in craniata or in vertebrata, animals are highly developed or evolved with lots of complexity in their organization. Then they have a very well developed head, which later on develops into proper well developed brain and nervous system. Then there is notochord in the initial stage, but later notochord is replaced by vertebral column. Brain is protected inside cranium, and I have already told you about the two groups as anatha and gnathostomata. So this is about classification of chordates. Now craniata or vertebrata is again a huge or a large group, and it is divided into classes. So we will do all those classes from vertebrates. First one is class cyclostomata. Now petromyzon and myxin are very typical common examples of this particular group. These animals, they don't have jaws or jawless animals, aquatic, and their skin is very soft, appendages are absent, endoskeleton is cartilaginous. Now endoskeleton means inside the body we have bones, correct? So bones are internally giving support to our body. So skeleton is framework, but if framework is inside the body, it is endoskeleton, correct? Now endoskeleton is a tissue. Now that tissue is either of cartilage or of bones. So here in cyclostomata, endoskeleton is made up of cartilage, that is why cartilaginous, and most of the animals are ectoparasites. Okay, so a very primitive group in chordates. Next is class Pisces or Pisces. Now these animals includes variety of fishes. So from that you can easily imagine their habitat, exclusively aquatic organisms found in water. Again, both possibilities, fresh water as well as sea water aquatic forms are seen. These animals are cold-blooded. For cold-blooded, you can see term used in your textbook is poikilothermic. Poikilothermic or cold-blooded means depending upon surroundings, body temperature fluctuates. Body temperature is not constant in these animals. Okay, then if you see shape of a fish, it is tapering at two ends and broad in the middle. So that's spindle. Now spindle shape means both ends are tapering and middle portion is broad or swollen, that is called spindle shape, or it is boat shaped, and that will offer minimum resistance while swimming. Then there are fins for locomotion, and if you see the tail of the fish, tail is tail fin. So if you see any time even in a fish tank, if you see a fish swimming, it moves its tail continuously, so it is for changing direction. So fins, they play different roles. Fins which are dorsal or fins which are lateral in position, they help animal to move in forward direction. But if animal has to change its direction like a steering wheel, this tail fin is going to help. Then exoskeleton, that is externally on the body of fish there are scales. So, scales are for protection, and inside endoskeleton, endoskeleton can be of cartilage or bones in fishes, and respiration is by gills. And you have you are given a list of different types of fishes as rohu, pomfret, seahorse, shark, ray fish, stingray, electric ray. These are different names or examples of fishes from this particular group. Then next comes is class Amphibia. Now you already know what are amphibians. Amphibians are the animals which can live in water as well as on land. Okay. So, a typical example. So, what you can see is, students, now here after fishes we are studying amphibia. So, that tells us how evolution has taken place, that is animals from water occasionally migrating to land. Okay. So, this is amphibia. Very good example, toad, frog, salamander, these are very typical examples of this particular group. Now, in amphibia again cold blooded animals are present, but now here skin does not have exoskeleton, otherwise exoskeleton is for protection, but here in members of amphibia there is no exoskeleton, no protective cover on the skin. The reason is the skin is used for respiration when animal is in water, and when animal is on land it has lungs for respiration. So, skin and lungs are two respiratory organs in this particular group. Then they have appendages. So, if you see a frog, frog has 4 limbs and hind limbs. So, 2 pairs of limbs or appendages are present in these animals, and there is no neck in these animals. So, neck is absent. Eyes is a say sensory organ present, and with the help of eyes animal is able to locate its prey. Plus in these animals there is no external ear. See, this is our external ear, it is also called pinna. So, external ear is not absent, it is absent in these members, but on the body or on the head region in members of amphibia you will see a specific region which receives auditory signals or waves, and that is called tympanum. So, tympanum is functioning similar to our ear. Okay. So, this is about class Amphibia. Then next is class Reptilia. Now, in class Reptilia again animals are cold blooded, but now here further evolution has taken place. That is, members of Reptilia are mostly found on land, that is they are terrestrial. Okay. Then very simple example which is commonly seen by all of you is house lizard. It is a member of this particular group. Now, in Reptilia animals are cold blooded, they are terrestrial. So, if you see a lizard, lizard also has got 2 pairs of limbs or appendages. Even garden lizard is commonly seen. So, two pairs of appendages for locomotion. These animals have got head, neck, then the part behind neck is a trunk and there is a tail. Now exception in this particular group is snakes. Snakes are reptiles, but they are without limbs, limbless animals. Okay. Then next group is aves, that is birds. Birds mostly fly, so aerial habitat. Of course, there are exceptions, animals like duck which swims in water. So, in members of this particular group class aves, now these are warm blooded animals. Warm blooded means body temperature is constant. Okay? Now, these animals are warm blooded, and that is why word used, see page number 74 and description of aves, you will find word homeotherms. Homeotherms means these are warm blooded and body temperature is constant. Now they can fly. Now remember, if animal has to fly, its body should be light in weight. So that is why body of the bird is light in weight and hence they can fly. For flying purpose, they have wings, there are feathers on the body, then bones are spongy, light in weight, there are air sacs or air cavities inside the body. If you see shape of the animal body, that is shape of the bird's body, it is again streamlined, that is narrow or tapering at two ends and broad in the middle, so that while flying very easily bird can fly. Then in these animals, instead of jaws they have a beak and there are no teeth in these animals. Okay? So these are some of the adaptations shown by birds so that they can fly. And last group, class Mammalia. Now we are from this particular group, class Mammalia, highest evolved organisms. Mammals are also warm blooded, that is homeotherms. On our skin, if you find there are hair, so exoskeleton is in the form of a hair. There are mammary glands present in females which are developed for feeding young ones. Body is divided into head, neck, trunk and tail usually. These animals, they have two pairs of limbs and their digits are provided with nails, claws or hooves. Okay? So this is the last group. Now I am going to give you a small activity to do. For all these 6 groups, prepare a table of comparative points with examples. Okay? Thank you.